The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle delves into the intriguing idea that talent is not a mysterious gift, but a skill that can be developed through specific practices and conditions. Coyle argues that talent emerges from a process he calls deep practice, which involves targeted, intense, and repetitive practice that challenges and refines skills. He uses examples from various fields, such as sports, music, and academics, to show how deep practice helps individuals and groups achieve extraordinary levels of performance. This practice is characterized by breaking down skills into smaller components, making mistakes, and learning from them in a highly focused manner. Central to Coyle's thesis is the role of myelin, a substance in the brain that insulates neural circuits and enhances their efficiency. Coyle explains that deep practice helps build thicker layers of myelin around these circuits, effectively making the neural pathways more efficient and rapid. The more one practices a particular skill, the more myelin wraps around the relevant neural circuits, solidifying and improving that skill. This neurological perspective provides a scientific foundation for the book's argument that talent can be cultivated through effort and the right kind of practice. In addition to deep practice, the Talent Code highlights the importance of ignition and master coaching. Ignition refers to the moments of inspiration or motivation that spark a person's dedication to pursuing a skill, often influenced by cultural or environmental factors. Master coaching involves guidance from experienced mentors who can provide effective feedback, motivation, and strategies tailored to the learner's needs. Coyle's exploration of these elements underscores the idea that talent development is a complex interplay of biology, environment, and practice, offering a hopeful and practical guide for anyone looking to unlock their potential. About the author, Daniel Coyle is a renowned author and journalist known for his insightful writings on talent development, performance, and organizational culture. Born and raised in Alaska, Coyle's diverse background and experiences have significantly influenced his work. He has authored several best-selling books, including The Talent Code, The Little Book of Talent, and The Culture Code, each exploring different aspects of human potential and excellence. Coyle's career as a journalist has seen him contribute to a variety of prominent publications, including the New York Times Magazine, Sports Illustrated, and Outside. His investigative and narrative skills have earned him widespread acclaim, allowing him to delve deeply into his subjects and provide readers with compelling and practical insights. His work often blends scientific research with real-world examples, making complex ideas accessible and engaging for a broad audience. In addition to his writing, Coyle has served as a consultant for various organizations, helping them foster high-performance cultures and unlock the potential of their teams. His expertise in understanding and cultivating talent has made him a sought-after speaker and advisor. Through his books and other contributions, Daniel Coyle continues to inspire individuals and organizations to strive for excellence by understanding the principles that underpin talent and success. Introduction: The Talent Code. In the introduction of The Talent Code, Daniel Coyle sets the stage by exploring the concept of talent hotbeds, places around the world that produce an extraordinary number of talented individuals in specific fields. These hotbeds include a Russian tennis club, a New York music academy, and a Brazilian soccer field, among others. Coyle is intrigued by how these seemingly ordinary locations can consistently generate such high levels of talent. He proposes that there is a common thread connecting these hotspots, a code that can be understood and replicated. Coyle introduces the three key elements that form the foundation of this talent code: deep practice, ignition, and master coaching. Deep practice refers to a focused, effortful type of practice that systematically targets and improves skills. Ignition is the spark of motivation and passion that drives individuals to commit to long-term practice. Master coaching involves the guidance of skilled mentors who provide precise feedback and encouragement. By combining insights from neuroscience, psychology, and real-world observations, Coyle aims to demystify the process of talent development, offering readers a practical framework for cultivating talent in themselves and others. Part 1, Deep Practice. Chapter 1, The Sweet Spot. Chapter 1 of the Talent Code, titled The Sweet Spot, delves into the concept of deep practice and its critical role in developing talent. Daniel Coyle begins by examining a tennis academy in Russia, where young athletes practice in a distinct, focused manner. He observes that these players spend a significant amount of time on the edge of their abilities, making mistakes and correcting them, which is fundamental to deep practice. This method of training, Coyle notes, contrasts sharply with more casual, less engaged forms of practice that do not produce the same level of improvement. Coyle introduces the idea of the sweet spot, the optimal zone where practice is most effective. This sweet spot is found at the intersection of challenge and skill, where individuals are pushed slightly beyond their current capabilities, but not so far that they become discouraged. In this zone, errors are frequent but manageable, allowing for continuous learning and growth. Coyle highlights the importance of embracing mistakes as essential learning opportunities, rather than viewing them as failures. This approach leads to the incremental building and strengthening of neural pathways in the brain, a process he describes as building myelin. To illustrate his points, Coyle provides examples from various fields, showing how deep practice in the sweet spot can transform average performers into exceptional ones. He emphasizes that this type of practice is deliberate and intentional, requiring sustained effort and concentration. By focusing on the mechanics of deep practice, Coyle sets the foundation for understanding how talent can be systematically developed through specific targeted efforts. Chapter 2, The Deep Practice Cell. Chapter 2 of the Talent Code, titled The Deep Practice Cell, delves into the mechanics and principles of deep practice, a crucial element in developing talent. Daniel Coyle explains that deep practice involves a specific type of focused, effortful practice that targets the improvement of specific skills through intense, repetitive actions. This practice is not about mindless repetition, but about breaking down skills into manageable chunks, making mistakes, and learning from those mistakes in a highly engaged manner. Coyle illustrates the concept by visiting various talent hotbeds, where he observes individuals engaged in deep practice. He notes that these practitioners often operate at the edge of their abilities, constantly pushing their limits and working through challenges. This process leads to the formation and strengthening of neural pathways in the brain, a phenomenon supported by the science of myelin. Myelin is a substance that wraps around nerve fibers, increasing the speed and accuracy of neural signals. Coyle emphasizes that the more one engages in deep practice, the more myelin is produced, leading to enhanced skill development and performance. The chapter highlights that deep practice is not necessarily enjoyable or easy. It requires sustained effort, concentration, and a willingness to embrace and learn from failure. Coyle uses examples from various domains such as sports, music, and academia to show how deep practice leads to remarkable improvements and mastery over time. He concludes that anyone can apply the principles of deep practice to develop their talents, provided they are willing to invest the necessary time and effort. Chapter 3, The Brontë Sisters and the Hydrogen Bomb, Chapter 3 of the Talent Code, titled The Brontë Sisters and the Hydrogen Bomb, explores the role of challenging environments and adversity in talent development. Daniel Coyle examines the lives of the Brontë sisters, renowned authors who grew up in a remote, harsh environment. Despite, or perhaps because of, their challenging circumstances, the Brontë sisters developed exceptional literary talents. Coyle suggests that the difficulties they faced, such as isolation and limited resources, forced them to engage in deep, creative practice, honing their skills through intense focus and perseverance. Coyle then shifts to the story of physicist Andrei Sakharov, one of the principal architects of the Soviet hydrogen bomb. Sakharov's work was conducted under immense pressure and secrecy, yet this high-stakes environment contributed to rapid and groundbreaking developments. Coyle argues that such demanding conditions can act as powerful catalysts for talent development, pushing individuals to their limits and fostering innovation and mastery. The chapter underscores the idea that adversity and challenging conditions can serve as powerful motivators, compelling individuals to engage in deep practice and develop their talents to a high level. Coyle emphasizes that while comfort and ease may be desirable, it is often the struggle and effort in the face of obstacles that lead to significant growth and achievement. Through these examples, he illustrates how environments that challenge individuals can play a crucial role in the cultivation of exceptional talent. Chapter 4: The Three Rules of Deep Practice. Chapter 4 of the Talent Code, titled The Three Rules of Deep Practice, outlines the essential principles that govern effective deep practice. Daniel Coyle distills these principles into three key rules that can help individuals maximize their skill development through focused and deliberate practice. Rule 1: Chunk it up. The first rule involves breaking down complex skills into smaller, manageable chunks. Coyle explains that by isolating specific components of a skill, practitioners can focus intensely on each part, gradually mastering the whole through incremental improvement. This approach allows learners to understand and perfect each segment before integrating them into a seamless performance. The process of chunking helps to create a clear roadmap for practice, making it easier to identify and correct mistakes. Rule 2: Repeat it. The second rule emphasizes the importance of repetition in deep practice. Coyle notes that effective repetition is not about mindlessly going through the motions, but engaging in purposeful, attentive practice. This means revisiting the same chunks repeatedly, each time aiming to refine and improve performance. Through consistent, targeted repetition, the neural pathways associated with the skill become stronger and more efficient, thanks to the production of myelin, which insulates and enhances these pathways. Rule 3: Learn to feel it. The third rule involves developing an acute awareness of the nuances and subtleties of the skill being practiced. Coyle describes this as learning to feel it, which means cultivating a deep sensitivity to the feedback generated during practice. This heightened awareness allows practitioners to make precise adjustments and fine-tune their performance. By paying close attention to the sensations and outcomes of each attempt, learners can better understand what works and what doesn't, leading to continuous improvement. Through these three rules, Coyle provides a clear framework for engaging in deep practice, emphasizing that mastery is achieved through focused, deliberate effort and a keen awareness of the learning process. Part 2: Ignition. Chapter 5: Primal Cues. Chapter 5 of the Talent Code, titled Primal Cues, explores the concept of ignition, the motivational spark that sets the process of deep practice into motion. Daniel Coyle examines how certain external and internal cues can trigger a powerful desire to improve and excel, leading individuals to commit to the sustained effort required for talent development. Coyle begins by discussing how primal cues can create moments of ignition, moments that inspire a strong emotional response and drive individuals toward ambitious goals. These cues often involve witnessing extraordinary performances or experiencing a significant event that reshapes one's perceptions and aspirations. For instance, a young musician might be ignited by hearing a virtuoso performance, or an athlete might be inspired by watching a record-breaking race. Coyle provides various examples of ignition in action, such as the rise of Brazilian soccer players who were inspired by national heroes, and the influx of young Korean golfers motivated by Park's success. He explains that these moments of ignition often involve a combination of admiration, desire, and a sense of possibility. Seeing someone else achieve greatness makes it seem attainable and worth pursuing. The chapter also delves into the social and cultural contexts that can enhance or dampen ignition. Supportive environments, access to role models, and exposure to high standards can significantly influence an individual's motivation to engage in deep practice. Coyle emphasizes that while talent is not solely a matter of inspiration, ignition is a critical first step that fuels the commitment and perseverance necessary for mastering any skill. Chapter 6, the Curacao Experiment, Chapter 6 of the Talent Code, titled The Curacao Experiment, explores the impact of environment and social dynamics on talent development. Daniel Coyle uses the story of a baseball team from Curacao, a small island in the Caribbean, to illustrate how a supportive and challenging environment can ignite talent and foster extraordinary achievements. Coyle begins by recounting the success of the Curacao baseball team, which managed to produce an impressive number of Major League Baseball players despite the island's small size and limited resources. He attributes this phenomenon to a combination of factors, including the island's close-knit community, the presence of local role models, and a highly competitive sports culture. These elements created a fertile ground for young players to develop their skills and aspire to greatness. One of the key observations in this chapter is the concept of cultural forces that shape and drive the development of talent. In Curacao, baseball is not just a sport, but a central part of the community's identity and daily life. The passion and enthusiasm for the game permeate the culture, providing constant encouragement and motivation for young athletes. This cultural immersion helps sustain their interest and dedication by making it easier for them to engage in the deep practice necessary for skill mastery. Coyle also highlights the role of coaches and mentors in Curacao, who serve as both teachers and motivators. These figures provide guidance, set high expectations, and offer the support needed to navigate challenges and setbacks. The combination of a strong community, inspirational role models, and dedicated coaching creates an environment where talent can thrive. The Curacao Experiment demonstrates that talent is not solely an individual endeavor, but is significantly influenced by the social and cultural context in which it is nurtured. Through the story of Curacao, Coyle illustrates how a supportive and vibrant community can ignite the spark of talent and sustain the commitment required for achieving excellence. This chapter reinforces the idea that talent development is a collective process deeply embedded in the cultural and social fabric of a community. Chapter 7, How to Ignite a Hotbed. Chapter 7 of the Talent Code, titled How to Ignite a Hotbed, delves into the strategies and conditions necessary to create environments where talent can flourish. Daniel Coyle outlines practical steps and key elements that can help establish talent hotbeds, places that consistently produce high levels of skill and achievement. Coyle begins by emphasizing the importance of the ignition process, which involves sparking the initial motivation and passion for excellence. He explains that creating a hotbed requires a combination of inspiration and sustained effort. One effective strategy is to expose individuals to role models and examples of peak performance, which can serve as powerful motivators. Seeing others achieve greatness helps individuals believe in their own potential and ignites the desire to pursue similar levels of excellence. The chapter also highlights the role of specific, high-reaching goals in fostering a hotbed. Coyle notes that having clear, ambitious objectives can drive individuals to engage in deep practice and push their limits. He uses the example of the Spartak Tennis Club in Russia, where young players are constantly exposed to world-class performances and are encouraged to visualize themselves achieving at the highest levels. This environment of high expectations creates a culture of striving and improvement. Another crucial element Coyle discusses is the presence of master coaching. Effective coaches play a vital role in guiding individuals through the process of deep practice, providing the necessary feedback, encouragement, and expertise. These coaches help learners break down complex skills into manageable chunks, focus on incremental improvements, and maintain motivation through challenging periods. The synergy between motivated learners and skilled coaches is a hallmark of successful talent hotbeds. Finally, Coyle underscores the importance of a supportive community and culture. A hotbed thrives when it is embedded within a community that values and celebrates skill development and achievement. This supportive environment reinforces the commitment to practice and helps sustain long-term efforts. By cultivating a culture that prioritizes learning and excellence, communities can create fertile grounds for talent to grow and flourish. Through these insights, Coyle provides a comprehensive guide for creating and sustaining talent hotbeds, emphasizing the critical roles of inspiration, goal setting, master coaching, and supportive communities in the development of exceptional talent. Part 3, Master Coaching. Chapter 8, The Talent Whisperers. Chapter 8 of the Talent Code, titled The Talent Whisperers, focuses on the critical role of master coaches in the development of talent. Daniel Coyle examines how these exceptional coaches, or talent whisperers, possess a unique ability to unlock potential and guide individuals toward excellence through their nuanced understanding of skill development and motivational strategies. Coyle begins by profiling several renowned coaches across various fields, highlighting their distinctive methods and philosophies. He emphasizes that talent whisperers are not necessarily the most famous or successful coaches, but those who have a profound impact on their students' progress. These coaches share a common ability to connect deeply with their learners, understanding their needs, strengths, and weaknesses on a personal level. One key characteristic of talent whisperers is their emphasis on detailed, targeted feedback. Coyle explains that effective coaches provide specific, actionable guidance that helps learners make precise adjustments to their practice. This feedback is often immediate and continuous, allowing for real-time corrections and improvements. By focusing on the minutiae of performance, talent whisperers help their students refine their skills and build a solid foundation for further growth. Another important aspect of talent whisperers is their ability to create a safe yet challenging environment. Coyle notes that these coaches strike a delicate balance between support and demand, pushing their students to their limits while providing the encouragement and reassurance needed to persevere. This approach fosters resilience and a growth mindset, enabling learners to embrace challenges and view failures as opportunities for improvement. Coyle also highlights the role of emotional intelligence in effective coaching. Talent whisperers are adept at reading their students' emotions and tailoring their approach to suit individual motivational triggers. They know when to be tough and when to be compassionate, creating a bond of trust and respect that enhances the learning process. In summary, Chapter 8 underscores the transformative power of master coaching in talent development. By providing precise feedback, creating a balanced environment, and leveraging emotional intelligence, talent whisperers help individuals unlock their full potential and achieve extraordinary levels of skill and performance. Through their guidance, learners are equipped with the tools and mindset necessary to engage in deep practice and continuous improvement. Chapter 9, the Teaching Circuit, Chapter 9 of the Talent Code, titled The Teaching Circuit, explores the essential role of structured learning environments and effective teaching methodologies in talent development. Daniel Coyle delves into how successful coaches and educators create optimal conditions for learning and mastery, focusing on the importance of deliberate practice and systematic instruction. Coyle begins by discussing the concept of the teaching circuit, a structured approach to instruction that emphasizes repetition, feedback, and incremental progress. This circuit involves a cycle of action, evaluation, and correction, where learners engage in specific tasks, receive immediate and targeted feedback, and then adjust their efforts accordingly. This iterative process helps to solidify skills and ensures continuous improvement. One of the key components of the teaching circuit is the use of clear, precise instructions. Coyle notes that effective teachers break down complex skills into smaller, manageable parts, providing learners with a clear roadmap for practice. By focusing on one element at a time, students can concentrate their efforts and make meaningful progress. This approach also allows for more accurate feedback, as each component can be evaluated separately. Coyle highlights the importance of creating a feedback-rich environment in the teaching circuit. Successful educators provide constant, constructive feedback that guides learners through their practice. This feedback is often specific and actionable, allowing students to make precise adjustments and understand the impact of their efforts. Coyle emphasizes that timely and relevant feedback is crucial for maintaining motivation and fostering a sense of achievement. Another critical aspect of the teaching circuit is the establishment of a supportive and challenging learning environment. Coyle explains that effective teachers create a balance between pushing students to their limits and providing the necessary encouragement and support. This environment helps learners to build resilience and confidence, enabling them to tackle increasingly difficult challenges and persist through setbacks. Coyle also discusses the role of repetition in the teaching circuit. Repeated practice of specific skills helps to reinforce neural pathways, leading to more efficient and automatic performance. However, he stresses that repetition alone is not enough. It must be combined with mindful engagement and a focus on improvement to be truly effective. In summary, Chapter 9 of the Talent Code emphasizes the importance of structured learning environments and effective teaching methodologies in talent development. By employing the teaching circuit, characterized by clear instructions, constant feedback, a supportive environment, and deliberate repetition. Educators can create optimal conditions for skill acquisition and mastery. This structured approach helps learners to engage in deep practice, continuously refine their abilities, and ultimately achieve high levels of performance. Chapter 10: The Coaching Matrix. Chapter 10 of the Talent Code, titled The Coaching Matrix, examines the complex and multifaceted role of coaches in the talent development process. Daniel Coyle delves into the different styles and approaches that effective coaches use to inspire, guide, and improve their students, highlighting the importance of adaptability and personalized instruction. Coyle begins by introducing the concept of the coaching matrix, a framework that categorizes coaching styles based on two key dimensions: the level of support and the level of challenge provided to the learner. Effective coaches know how to balance these elements, adapting their approach to meet the specific needs and circumstances of their students. This adaptability is crucial for fostering an environment where learners feel both supported and motivated to push their limits. One quadrant of the matrix includes coaches who provide high support but low challenge, often creating a nurturing environment that builds confidence and trust. These coaches are essential in the early stages of skill development when learners need encouragement and validation. However, Coyle notes that while this approach can build a solid foundation, it must eventually incorporate more challenging elements to avoid complacency. Another quadrant features coaches who offer high challenge but low support. These coaches push their students hard, emphasizing the importance of effort, resilience, and self-sufficiency. While this approach can drive significant progress, it can also lead to burnout or discouragement if not balanced with adequate support. Coyle emphasizes that the most effective coaches can blend high challenge with high support, pushing their students to excel while providing the necessary guidance and encouragement to sustain their efforts. Coyle also explores the role of emotional intelligence in coaching. Effective coaches are attuned to their students' emotional states, understanding when to push harder and when to provide reassurance. This sensitivity helps to maintain a positive and productive learning environment, fostering a strong connection between coach and student. Coyle provides examples of master coaches who excel in this area, using their emotional intelligence to inspire and motivate their students. The chapter highlights the importance of feedback in the coaching process. Coyle explains that effective feedback is specific, actionable, and delivered in a way that is both constructive and motivating. Coaches who master the art of feedback can help their students make precise adjustments, leading to continuous improvement and skill refinement. In conclusion, chapter for the Talent Code emphasizes the importance of a balanced and adaptable coaching approach. By understanding and implementing the coaching matrix, effective coaches can provide the right mix of support and challenge, fostering an environment where talent can thrive. The combination of emotional intelligence, targeted feedback, and personalized instruction helps learners to engage in deep practice, overcome obstacles, and achieve high levels of performance. Chapter 11: The Master Coaches. Chapter 11 of the Talent Code, titled The Master Coaches, focuses on the qualities and practices that distinguish exceptional coaches who consistently produce top-tier talent. Daniel Coyle examines the characteristics and methods of these master coaches, revealing how they inspire, guide, and nurture their students to achieve remarkable levels of skill and performance. Coyle begins by highlighting that master coaches are often not the most famous or glamorous figures in their fields, but are instead deeply committed and skilled educators who understand the intricate process of talent development. These coaches share a common ability to connect with their students on a personal level, fostering strong relationships built on trust and mutual respect. This connection is essential for creating an environment where learners feel safe to take risks and push their boundaries. One of the key traits of master coaches is their relentless focus on the fundamentals. Coyle explains that these coaches prioritize the basics, ensuring that their students develop a solid foundation before moving on to more advanced techniques. This emphasis on fundamentals helps to prevent bad habits and ensures that learners have a strong base upon which to build their skills. Master coaches break down complex skills into manageable parts, allowing their students to master each component before integrating them into a cohesive whole. Another important aspect of master coaching is the use of targeted, specific feedback. Coyle notes that master coaches provide precise, actionable feedback that helps learners make incremental improvements. This feedback is often immediate, allowing for real-time adjustments and refinements. By focusing on small, achievable goals, master coaches help their students to see continuous progress, which in turn builds confidence and motivation. Coyle also discusses the importance of creating a challenging yet supportive environment. Master coaches strike a delicate balance between pushing their students to their limits and providing the encouragement and support needed to persevere. They set high expectations and challenge their students to meet them, but they also offer the guidance and reassurance necessary to navigate setbacks and failures. This balanced approach helps learners to develop resilience and a growth mindset. Emotional intelligence is another hallmark of master coaches. These coaches are adept at reading their students' emotions and adjusting their approach accordingly. They understand when to be demanding and when to be empathetic, creating a dynamic and responsive coaching style that meets the individual needs of each learner. This emotional attunement helps to foster a positive and productive learning environment. In summary, Chapter 11 of the Talent Code delves into the qualities and practices that set master coaches apart. Through their focus on fundamentals, precise feedback, challenging yet supportive environments, and emotional intelligence, these coaches create the optimal conditions for talent development. By understanding and applying these principles, educators and mentors can help their students unlock their full potential and achieve extraordinary levels of performance. Epilogue: The Myelin Revolution. In the epilogue of the Talent Code titled The Myelin Revolution, Daniel Coyle revisits the central scientific concept underpinning his exploration of talent development: myelin. Myelin is the fatty substance that wraps around nerve fibers in the brain, and it plays a crucial role in the speed and accuracy of neural signals. The epilogue focuses on how advancements in the understanding of myelin have revolutionized the way we think about skill acquisition and talent. Coyle begins by summarizing the key insights from the book, emphasizing that talent is not a mysterious gift, but a result of deep practice, ignition, and master coaching. He explains that myelin is the biological basis for this process. As individuals engage in focused, repetitive practice, myelin production increases, insulating the neural circuits involved in the practice skill. This insulation enhances the efficiency and speed of neural transmissions, leading to improved performance. The myelin revolution refers to the growing recognition of myelin's role in learning and skill development. Coyle highlights that this understanding has significant implications for various fields, from education to sports to professional training. By recognizing that repeated, deliberate practice physically changes the brain, educators and coaches can better design training programs that maximize the development of talent. Coyle also discusses the future of talent development in light of myelin research. He suggests that as we continue to learn more about the brain's plasticity and the role of myelin, we can develop even more effective methods for fostering skill and performance. This includes personalized training regimens that take into account individual differences in how people respond to practice and feedback. In conclusion, the epilogue reinforces the book's main message. Talent is grown through a combination of deep practice, motivation, and effective coaching, all underpinned by the biological process of myelination. By understanding and leveraging this process, anyone can work towards achieving excellence in their chosen field. The myelin revolution offers a hopeful and practical perspective on talent, emphasizing that with the right approach, extraordinary performance is within reach for everyone. Sure, here it is. Book review: The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. Daniel Coyle's The Talent Code, Greatness Isn't Born, It's Grown. Here's How is a compelling exploration into the nature of talent and the processes that foster its development. Drawing on a rich tapestry of scientific research, case studies, and real world examples, Coyle convincingly argues that talent is not an innate gift, but a skill that can be cultivated through specific practices and conditions. One of the book's greatest strengths is its clear and engaging writing style. Coyle takes complex neurological concepts, such as the role of myelin in skill acquisition, and presents them in an accessible and relatable manner. He weaves together stories from diverse fields, ranging from sports to music to education, to illustrate how the principles of deep practice, ignition, and master coaching can be applied universally to unlock human potential. The concept of deep practice is particularly enlightening. Coyle explains that effective practice is not about mindless repetition, but about engaging in focused, effortful activities that target specific skills and push the boundaries of one's abilities. This insight is reinforced through vivid anecdotes, such as the disciplined routines of Brazilian soccer players or the meticulous training of Russian tennis players. These examples not only make the theory come alive, but also provide practical takeaways for readers aspiring to improve their own skills. Coyle's exploration of ignition, the motivational spark that drives sustained effort, is another highlight. He delves into the psychological and cultural factors that inspire individuals to pursue excellence, from the impact of role models to the power of high-reaching goals. The discussion of how environments and communities can foster or inhibit talent development is both thought-provoking and inspiring, offering a broader perspective on the social dynamics of success. The section on master coaching underscores the importance of personalized, insightful feedback and emotional intelligence in guiding learners toward mastery. Coyle's profiles of exceptional coaches reveal the nuances of effective teaching and mentorship, providing valuable lessons for educators, leaders, and anyone involved in skill development. While the talent code is rich in insights and practical advice, it does have its limitations. Some readers may find the reliance on anecdotal evidence and case studies less rigorous than a purely scientific approach. Additionally, the book's focus on extraordinary examples of success might make the principles seem daunting or out of reach for the average person. However, Coyle's overarching message is one of empowerment. By understanding and applying the principles of deep practice, ignition, and master coaching, anyone can work towards achieving excellence. In summary, The Talent Code is an enlightening and motivational read that challenges conventional notions of talent. Daniel Coyle's blend of scientific research, storytelling, and practical guidance makes this book a valuable resource for anyone interested in personal development, education, or coaching. By demystifying the process of skill acquisition, Coyle provides a roadmap for unlocking human potential and achieving greatness through deliberate effort and perseverance. Criticism of The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. While The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle offers compelling insights and practical advice on talent development, it is not without its shortcomings. One notable criticism is the book's heavy reliance on anecdotal evidence and case studies. While these stories are engaging and illustrative, they can sometimes lack the rigorous scientific backing that some readers might expect from a book that delves into neurological and psychological principles. This reliance on specific examples might lead to questions about the generalizability of Coyle's conclusions. Another criticism lies in the presentation of talent development as a relatively straightforward process that anyone can achieve with the right combination of deep practice, ignition, and master coaching. While these elements are undoubtedly important, the book may oversimplify the complexities and individual differences involved in skill acquisition. Factors such as genetic predispositions, socioeconomic status, and access to resources are not given as much attention, potentially leading readers to believe that success is solely a matter of effort and environment. Additionally, Coyle's focus on extreme examples of success, such as elite athletes, world-class musicians, and other high achievers, might make the principles seem out of reach for the average person. This emphasis on extraordinary talent can create a sense of unattainability, possibly discouraging those who do not see immediate dramatic results from their efforts. It can also contribute to a somewhat skewed perception of what constitutes success, overlooking the value of incremental progress and personal growth that might not lead to world-class status. Finally, the book's engaging storytelling, while a strength, sometimes comes at the expense of a more nuanced exploration of the science behind talent development. Readers looking for an in-depth, technical understanding of the neurological processes involved might find the explanation somewhat superficial. The discussion on myelin, for example, while central to Coyle's argument, could benefit from a more detailed exploration of the current scientific research and its limitations. In summary, while The Talent Code is an inspiring and thought provoking read, it could benefit from a more balanced approach that incorporates a wider range of scientific evidence and acknowledges the complex interplay of various factors in talent development. This would provide a more comprehensive understanding of the paths to achieving excellence. Disclaimer: this video is a summary and discussion of The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle, intended for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for reading the book or seeking professional advice. The views and opinions expressed in this video are those of the presenter and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the author, publisher, or any other agency. The content is based on the presenter's interpretation and may not cover all aspects of the book. Viewers are encouraged to read the original work for a complete understanding. All rights to the book's content remain with the author and publisher.